All right, this is Unit 3, Lesson 9, Intro to Functions. So we are going to start by talking about a relation. It's really, really simple. A relation is simply a collection of points. All right, so like this right here. All right, these can be called points. They can be called ordered pairs. Whatever it is, this is a relation. All right, and what it does is it relates the x value to the y value. So like 1 goes with 5, 2 goes with 6, etc., etc. The reason why you need to know that is because some relations are called functions. A function is essentially a math machine. What it does is it takes your inputs, also known as domain values. We'll talk a lot about that word domain and its counterpart range. It takes your inputs, it does something to them, okay? It might be add, multiply, a combination of both, could be anything. And out comes the outputs, otherwise known as the range. Not all relations are functions. A function is a relation for which each input has exactly one output. That's really important. If I put in an input and one time I get one output and then I put in the same input another time and get a different output, that would not be a function. So it has to be every input has exactly one output. And we use notation, all right? So the notation, you've seen this before when we were talking about sequences. The notation is simply f of x. That's how it's pronounced. It's pronounced f of x. It doesn't mean multiplication. And these pieces, x is going to be your input. And then what you get out, we call f of x. So you're going to see that f is the function itself, x is the input, and what you get out we'll call f of x. More on that in future lessons. First, let's talk about if you're given a relation, how do you decide if it's a domain or not? Well, we have three methods for doing that. One method is called a mapping diagram. The first thing you do with a mapping diagram is you have to set up your domains and range. So as I stated, your domain is your input. Those are going to be your x values. So 3, 0, -2, -3. When we put them into the mapping diagram, we try to put them in order from top to bottom. So it's not crucial, but -3, -2, 0, 3. And then your outputs, your range values, are going to be your y values. And again, I'm going to list them in order, 0, 4, 5, and 7. And then what we want to do is we want to draw lines from the domain to the matching range. So for example, 3 goes with 0. I got that from right here. 0 goes with 5. -2 goes with 7. And -3 goes with 4. And now here's what we want to look at. We want to look at our domains and we want to make sure that these are mapped. That's what the line means. It's mapped. None of these inputs are mapped to more than one place. So -3 only goes one place, -2 only goes one place, etc., etc. So this one is a function because that's the case. So yes, this is a function. The question would say, is this a function? Yes, because, oops, let me spell that correctly. Each input has exactly one output. Now let's contrast that with this one over here. So again, let's put our domain value. So I've got 3, 0, -2, and 0. If you have repeats, you don't list them twice. You do not repeat values. So the 0 only gets written one time. Output is 0, 5, 7, and 4. 0, 4, 5, and 7. And then let's map. 3 goes with 0. 0 goes with 5. -2 goes with 7. And 0 also goes with 4. And that's the problem right there. You can see that 0 is mapped to 2 different outputs. That's a no-no. So this would be no, it's not a function, because some inputs have more than one output. You don't need to be specific. Just some inputs have more than one output. 0 has more than one output. All right, we can also do this with a table. It's the exact same thing. This is basically a mapping diagram that's given to you already. So -2 goes just with -7, -1 goes just with -4. What I'm really looking for is I'm looking for repeats. Okay, so this doesn't have any repeats, which means each input has exactly one output, as opposed to over here, you can see that -3 has more than one output. So the left-hand side would be a function, you would write this. Right-hand side would not be a function, you would write this. And the third method is called vertical line test. Vertical line test is a way to do graphically to see if it has more than one output. What you're going to do is you're going to pretend that you have a line. I will show you. Let's say you have this line right here. What you're going to do is you're going to take this line and you're going to move it across the graph like this. And as long as that line only hits the graph in one place at any time, then that is a function. So this passes the vertical line test because no place does it touch that graph in more than one place. But you don't write vertical line test. You write this. This is always the answer to a function question. Either this or this. Those are your only two choices. Now let's take a look at this other graph. If I took my line, right here you can see that I'm touching the graph in more than one spot. I'm touching it here and I'm touching it here. That's a fail of the vertical line test. And so the answer to this one would be no, because some inputs have more than one output. So that's how we can tell if a relation is a function, 3 different ways. And now it's time to practice.